Okay, hello mortals. This is the Booktube Goddess, the #1 drag queen booktuber on YouTube, and this is a Get Ready With Me where I put on drag makeup to film videos today. So I see there's already a bunch of messages here. Cappuccino is at a friend's house, and you wish you had AC. Oh, I would die. Well, I'm in Vegas. I would die without AC, but I hope you enjoy yourself. Britta is here. Welcome, Britta. Always fun to see you. And Lynette's here. Lori isn't feeling great. Lynette is ill. What is going on today? I know, Britta. What is going on? It was in Las Vegas. It was actually raining yesterday, so that cooled things down. But yeah, I heard Europe was going through a heat wave. I heard the whole world is going through odd weather this season. Okay, so I did, Lori, I did cream instead of that chroma cake. So we'll see how it goes today. And I haven't really decided on a color. Let's see. Let's just... What did I do last week? Oh, I did the yellow lid. Should I just do... An actual eyeshadow primer would be best. Yeah, I'm so cheap when it comes to makeup. It's like I have to use up this tin of Clown White face paint. Germany is okay, but we still have terrible wildfire. Yeah. Hey, Cool Gamer, thank you for coming. Should I try orange again? In California, when I lived there were so many wildfires, especially in the around the Bay Area. I can't decide on a color. I'm going to try orange again. I keep trying just orange. And then I usually go with yellows and reds to do this autumn look. But if I just do a monochrome orange, use my template again. My eyebrow just went crazy over here, but usually the wig covers the end, so I'm not going to worry about it. You may not see it on camera, but I see it there. So this is just a guideline. Because I cannot get things symmetrical. Okay, that'll do. Anyway, gagging for lit. I haven't seen you in forever. Thank you for coming. Lori, oh my goodness. Thank you so much for the tip. You didn't have to do that, but I always appreciate it. Rather cool. Oh, for eyeshadow primer. Okay, now I have to get it. Now I have to get eyeshadow primer. Do they have it white? Because I really want a really light primer, which is why, I mean, I think I got a primer a long time ago and it was, you know, more flesh colored that I I wanted white. And oh, I for next week, I don't know why I did it. I got another wig. I tell myself I'm not getting any more wigs. I have enough wigs. I've spent so much money on wigs, but just something got into me and I got a wig. So next week you'll see a oh, should I put down I'm just gonna do primer today. No no flash palette. It's hopefully against the white. I like this orange. I got a runny nose. Because it looks like creamsicle, but I don't know if it shows up on camera. Oh well. Okay. Yes, they come in light shadows to cover the lids. Oh, Misery. See, I like his paranormal stuff better. I know. The old season. Love Jinx and Trixie. Me too. They're some of my favorites. And if you've been watching the Legends, the right person won. In my opinion. The right. And that was actually my favorite season in a long time because there were no eliminations in the Legends of Legends All-Star thing. And that was nice. Nyx. Okay, because I like NYX. I use NYX. I mean, I've tried different types of eyeliners, but I tend to always go back to this NYX. Well, that's the white one, but the black liner. Okay, anyway. So next week I'll be having a new wig and a new primer. See, the problem is finding like a dark orange. Well, maybe not. This is a Juvia's Place. I muted in case there was an. I didn't make any spoilers, but just said the right person won. Yeah, Nyx is good. For my book and translation, I read The Ardent Swarm by Yemen Manai. Tunisian book. Wow, about a beekeeper. It was wonderful. I am still reading Eyes of the Void, the Tarkovsky. Oops. I just pick this up and put it down. Science fiction, second part of the duology, which I am liking as much as the first book, which is good. I wonder if he, because I know Fit to Be Read said last week that there's a third book planned. But my understanding was this was originally a duology, so I'm thinking the story's going to be complete after 2. Okay, this orange looks exactly like the other one. Oh, by the way, Lori, I know I was like complaining about how patchy it was last week. Once I do a video, or if you look on the Instagram, I don't think it looked that patchy on camera, ultimately. Even though in person it was awful, but rereading the Wayfarer series. Oh, is that the Sarah Douglas, or is it Elizabeth Hayden? The Wayfarer Redemption. If that's what you're talking about, love that series. Really love it. Booker stuff this year, the Booker Prize. Oh yeah, I read The Thief of Always. I love Clive Barker. Yeah, he wrote like, what is it? Arabat. He wrote a couple like children's books, but the two ones I think are his best is Weave World and Imagica, which are big books, by the way. I don't keep track of the Booker. I believe the planned third book is due out next year, called Lords of Uncreation. Oh, that's right. You interviewed him. You lucky dog. For the Booktube. I don't know what Booktube prize we're talking about. Are you doing is it like a collaborative actual prize? Actually, I do think I remember seeing something about a Booktube prize. Or am I thinking something for actual booktubers? I mean, prizes given for booktubers. Okay. Just packing on this light. What I thought was light orange, but it's kind of a light peach. So today I'm going to be doing, there's no Critical Role this week. They don't have a show on the last weekend of the month. So my videos I'm thinking about doing is I want to do something with Sandman, because that actually is my favorite comic book ever. And it's by Neil Gaiman. That was actually Neil Gaiman's first entry into the public, was the Sandman comic book series. Oops. And then I was thinking, because my video with the 6 book reviews did better than I thought it would do. I mean, it didn't do great, but it was like, I thought I would just get like 30 views or something. What I usually get for book reviews. But I guess people like seeing a bunch of book reviews together. So I was thinking about doing a middle grade book review of 6 middle grade books that I've read in the past 6 to 8 months. Because I don't really talk about them. Because I know that not that many people read middle grade. I mean, I know Gavin does. and he has the audience for it, but it's like not my specialty. Trying to blend these two. So anyway, thinking about doing a middle grade. By the way, some of these videos, I do have like a backlog of videos, so some of these videos I talk about, I don't actually, I may not actually post for a couple weeks. Like I have, I think, 2 unboxing videos that I still haven't released, and I did a what did I do? Oh, a reaction of beautifully bookish Bethany. I think it was maybe 3 weeks ago I filmed it. I had said on the live stream, I haven't done one of these in a while. But of course, the Sandman one I have to release this week because it's coming out this week. Okay, so I guess I just want I just don't think there is such a thing as like a really dark or, well, here's one. Let's see. And by dark, I mean like almost black. Well, you know what I mean, like a dark, deep. I think you almost have to go into the reds. One of the books, the middle grade books I had read was Kiki's Delivery Service because of Miyazaki, and I was kind of interested because the author's actually Japanese. It's a Japanese woman, middle grade fantasy writer. So my question always is when I read something that's been translated is how good the translator did in capturing the essence or the style or the rhythm of the original. You have to gear yourself up for the booker. None of the listed books interest me enough. Like I have loads on my shelf to read. I know the feeling. I kind of do that because, you know, I'm in speculative fiction, but like the Nova and the Nebula and the Hugo, sometimes I'll look and want to read all of them. And then it's like, you read the blurb and it's like, well, I'm really not interested in all of them. Booktube Prize is organized by Robert, a booktuber judged by people active in the community. Fiction, nonfiction, and translated fiction. Oh, just talking about translated fiction. Sandman video sounds good. The Sandman short story by Hoffman is one of your favorite short stories. Oh, I'm not familiar with that. By Etta Hoffman. I don't know anything about the Neil Gaiman graphic novel, but would be interested to hear about it from you. Well, it started as a comic book, you know, like a Batman, Superman. So the graphic novel, if you buy it online, is like, I think they bundle like the first 20 comic books as a volume. So Volume 1 is 1 through 20. Volume 2 is 21 through 40, whatever. But they're really excellent. And it's at that time. Oh, Lynette will love a middle grade review. Sandman at that time, or the time of the comics, this was like mid-'80s. It was going through a renaissance where mainstream comic books were really catering to mature audiences. And the big name back then, still a big name, is Alan Moore, because he took this comic character Swamp Thing, which was, I mean, just the name itself, it doesn't sound like much. Sounds like a silly, campy comic book character. But he developed it with like all these metaphysics. If you know Alan Moore, he's like into metaphysics and occult and all this stuff, but all these deep storylines and philosophies that he wove into the Swamp Thing character. And of course, he wanted to recreate that popularity of that comic with other mature. Actually, DC spun off a whole line called Vertigo. Yeah, that was their Vertigo line. Was once they started getting so many titles that were mature themed comic books. Anyway, Neil Gaiman was the one of the recipients of taking a character, a superhero that no one really wanted to do anything with, and just blowing it out of the water with completely new storylines. Because originally Sandman, the very, very original Sandman before Neil Gaiman, was like this Green Hornet sort of noir detective who had like a sleep gun and wore a World War I gas mask, that type of thing. Okay, I need to move on. I need to figure out how I'm going to darken this orange. I think I'm going to have to go to red, but hold on. I'm pulling out every palette I own, trying to find. Oh, I know it's up there. Come on. Willy Wonka, save us. And in the Sandman comics, the Sandman is, they're not gods, but they're called the Endless, or like incarnations of sort of different aspects of existence. So there's dream, there's death, and then there's one called Desire. They're twins, Desire and Despair. And Desire was modeled after David Bowie in his androgynous phase. So, and this was 80s, 90s, early 90s, where Neil Gaiman started calling Desire using they, them, which, keep in mind, this is like 30 years ago. No one was doing that back then for non-binary or androgynous characters. There was also a storyline with a trans woman. I don't know if it would be considered problematic today, but the trans woman was a witch trying to join a coven of witches, and this is like Wicca type witches, not, over the top Doctor Strange type, and was having issues with the other members of the coven not accepting her as since she wasn't born as a female, didn't accept her as like a true female. I mean, there are topics that Gaiman was bringing up 30 years ago that are just like, oh, what's going on with this side? No, this side. That seem really relevant for right now. Okay, I don't know where I'm going anymore. I think I'm just going to jump to black to try to deepen up these outer edges. We read Written on the Body. Do you guys read like a lot of literary fiction? Is that like the Booker type books? 852,000. Whoa. That is crazy. I love the Ghibli movie of Kiki's Delivery Service, but the translated novel sounds interesting too. It's a very quiet story, you know. If you've read Howl's Moving Castle and seen the Miyazaki anime, they're totally different. Miyazaki just does what you should do when you adapt a novel, is just sort of reinterpret it for the medium. So it's a lot different than the movie. Oh, I'm really behind. I read 4,000 pages of Proust. I'll maybe read 40 pages of Proust. Xavier Herbert. Getting around to Proust before the year is up. All I know is that the people that like Proust usually really love Proust. Like my uncle, I think, was a English lit in Duke University, and I know he was like, I think he did a thesis on Proust. But it's like most people I know that really love Proust have read it in college during a college course. Oh, Proust's work is funny. Swan's Way. Okay, I'm just going to Quarreling. Oh yes, I like both. Yeah, I love American Gods too. Oh, do you like the orange? The idea of a trans woman, which is quite astounding back then, right? Keep in mind the year. A lot of literary fiction. I'm more literary fiction, I'm afraid, though I do like genre fiction from time to time. Well, there is some literary fiction and genre fiction. For example, Gene Wolfe, who I know we talk about every once in a while. What's I going to do? Black. I don't know if Vonnegut is considered literary, but he's definitely like a science fiction author that got popular, but when he did so, someone decided that his works were too good for the science fiction section, and he was shelved in general fiction. Same thing with Gregory Maguire, who did Wicked. I mean, they obviously are fantasy novels, but whoever the powers that be are decided that the writing is too good for the fantasy section, so let's put it under general fiction. I mean, put it wherever the author is going to sell the most copies. I just think that's interesting. Although I used to get really offended about the Vonnegut thing. Loved Cat's Cradle, Sirens of Titan. Yeah, Slaughterhouse-Five is probably my favorite, but yeah, Wicked is raunchy. The other one I read in the series, I have the whole series, but definitely the first one is the best one. The Wicked was pure gold. Oh, another what I would consider 1984 was considered literary, so was Animal Farm, Brave New World, Fahrenheit, but not Le Guin. Was Fahrenheit really? Because Bradbury to me was always shelved in science fiction. Oh, the other literary fantasy writer who I think is literary is Guy Gavriel Kay. But yeah, I guess Vonnegut does have a reputation for having elevated prose, I guess we can say. Okay, the blacks make you look Halloweeny. I think I'm just going to go with just a little bit of red, just a little bit. Is this glitter? No. And what about Lev Grossman, the Did the magicians? I mean, talking about science fiction, fantasy authors that are considered also literary fiction authors, or that their works kind of cross over. Okay. Now, the problem with doing the cream on the eyes is that it just gets so cakey. And the reason why I switched to the chroma cake, or one of the reasons why, so I didn't have to cut it with my cellar water, but I think I'm just going to go ahead and do that. There we go. When did you first start doing drag? I remember when I was a teenager using my mom's eyelash curler once and getting a bit. Well, I've only really done drag seriously since I started doing this YouTube channel, but me and my husband would go out every year and drag for Halloween. We'd always do that. And in college, I would go out to clubs with a lot of makeup on. Not in, well, a couple times in drag, but mostly in, this was a time with like Boy George, and even the straight guys were wearing mascara or eyeshadow or eyeliner. And I know as a kid, I would dress up in my mom's clothes, and my parents were very conservative. My mother died and my father remarried a Southern Baptist. If you know anything about that, you know that. But I remember sneaking to, this was high school, sneaking out in drag in, I guess it was a Halloween or a dress-up day event, and my stepmother getting so freaked out and pissed off. So I was more of a dilettante until I started doing YouTube or Booktube. Then I really wanted to get serious about the art of drag. And if some people probably don't really consider me a drag queen, but if your definition of a drag queen is someone who is an entertainer, my form of entertainment is doing Booktube videos and talking about books. So that is my drag background. I don't have much interest in the makeup stuff, but I think I think you would too. The makeup stuff is a very steep learning curve, let me tell you. Magician's Trilogy is well worth it. Guy Gabriel. Guy Gabriel, but I'm not sure where to start. He has some standalone. I think he has some standalones. I mean, I think everything he writes is great, but there's one about the magic system, or the main character is like does mosaics or something. That's really interesting. I need to look up titles, but there's one I really enjoyed about two kingdoms. It seems like a traditional fantasy setup about two kingdoms at war with each other. And the magic sometimes is almost like magical realism. In other words, that subtle and that maybe not that integral to the story or to the main plot, which is about characters and dynamics and relationships. Current read is Small Things Like These. It's recommended by Craig. It's supposedly fun. Very short, almost a novella. It's talking about small things, but not the kind of book I feel an urge to read right now. May wait a year or two. You guys. There's someone that comments on my channel a lot. I forget her name, but she was saying, oh yeah, I'm going to put a couple of those books you talked about on my TBR list. And I was like, oh, I'm afraid of how, but it's going to be a while before I get to it. And I was like, oh, I'm afraid of how big your TBR list is. And she said it's over 600 books. I was like, what? I think that even beats you, Lynette. Okay, I am going to do the chroma cake on the lids and do under the brows. I mean, I have a confession to make. I really don't like keeping a TBR list. I just like, if I'm done a book, I just like deciding right after that, what to read. Which I think is a carryover of how I used to read when I went to bookstores. Because my treat to myself at work was to spend my lunch hour, which sometimes I would end up being 90 minutes to 2 hours, but at a bookstore choosing my next book to read. I didn't like getting like a lot of books at once. I liked getting one book at a time. And I liked the process of browsing in a bookstore, visiting different sections. What is going on? I must be hitting snooze. This is like my reminder of when I need to go on, start this live stream. But yeah, I still do that today. It's just when I'm ready to read a book, except for Shelve It or Shove It, of course, I'll just spend probably way too much time trying to Figure out the next book to read. I have to say, I do miss going to bookstores. I mean, I could still go, but the thing is, I just read things predominantly on the Kindle right now. Which I don't see myself changing anytime soon because of my eyesight. Well, okay, 500 books. Going through it soon and removing some. Don't have a TBR. I have a pile of possibilities. Oh, I like that. I like that. Pile of possibilities. I like having a huge TBR written out. I don't have to worry about forgetting a book. Satisfying ticking off the ones. I could see that. I like more flexibility. Once I started ordering online, I rewrite the list every couple of months as I add to it, so I cut out some books. Yeah, mark books that you want to read. I started doing that, and then I stopped. I don't know. M, thank you for joining us. Hello. These days I go to a bookstore to find what books I want to listen to. Browse, yeah. I guess I could do that for I guess Barnes & Noble's the only big bookstore left. But if I go to a smaller bookstore, I just sort of feel obligated to buy something because I know how much difficulty the small indie bookstores are going through. Okay, so I guess I should do glitter now for the... Oh, shoot. Just spilled some myself. So, what goes... Should I do purple with the red or the orange? I mean, I did a yellow lid last week. I could just do gold. I could do red. No, not red. I think gold or purple or pink. Would pink be a big contrast? Okay, thank you for joining us, Lori. Go take a nap. Go get some sleep. Your iPad read Kindle books, but it's so easy to get distracted on an iPad. Yeah. I got one of those I spent way too much money on a Kindle because all I wanted was the little buttons to press rather than swiping your finger. Because sometimes my finger would get sore after swiping so many times. I don't know. I just like the clicking the button. I remember the original Kindles, that's how you did it. Then they went to the touch screen, and then they stopped doing the buttons except for the really expensive models. Thursday Murder Club. Silvery pink. Purple. Well, I could do like dark purple fade to pink. Okay, I'll do that. Just tapping out glitter. Actually, let me start the black line just to get a idea of where I'm going. The occasional cozy mystery. I really should get into cozy mysteries more. Or just mysteries in general, because I like mysteries. It's just... I prefer speculative. I'm just putting an outline of not filling it in. Okay. Okay, I'm turning this phone off. Old Lady Prunella lost her cat. You know, it's funny because I never understood the term cozy mysteries. Like a mystery was a mystery to me. And the first time I heard it, I think I was listening to a podcast by a literary agent talking about cozy mysteries. And since I never heard the term before, I thought it was someone named Cozy, a mystery series about some detective named Cozy. It's like cozy mysteries, you know, like Marple mysteries or Poirot mysteries or whatever. But yeah, it just means like a Miss Marple, sort of cozy, short fiction. Well, of course, it's fiction, but there's always a murder. So how light can it be? But as murders go, sort of a lighthearted um, plot, not a lot of blood and guts. Oh, I should have put. Well, too late. I was going to say I should have put some color down, or I was going to put the glitter, but let's see how it goes. I was thinking about doing a halo eye this week, but I forgot. Okay, well, that's where we're going. Yeah, Rosemary Thyme, cozy, Murder She Wrote. Yeah, M definitely agrees. Very little, yeah, that's it. Very little sex, no graphic violence, lots of tea and biscuits. Not necessarily, but I get it. Thursday Murder Club is about retirees solving old cases, but then a murder happens close to the home for the elderly. Yeah, everywhere Jessica goes, death follows. Okay, so um, yeah, I definitely should have put color under this, but it's too late now. Okay. Okay, so that is the glitter. I think, is there any... Trying to see if there's a sort of bridge color I can make this look a little bit more blended with. I think next week, if I remember, I'm going to try to do like a whole lavender eye. Just using a little shadow just to try to make this look a little bit more blended. There. I would run miles the moment Jessica Fletcher entered my life. I think I'll do a chocolate face mask while I listen to you. Your voice has a very soothing quality. Are you from near California? I was born in California. I was born in San Diego. And for most of my adult life, I've lived in California, but I've just recently moved to Nevada, Las Vegas. Well, what's that book you're talking about? The Thursday Murder Club? It sounds like that one's a little suspicious too, if everyone around your retirement home is getting murdered. Okay. Let's move this party forward. Okay, I'm actually going to try to do a small wing today. Actually, I should have. I think next time I pick up foundation, I'm going to get a little darker because my face looks just so white. Okay. Continue on. Thursday Murder Club was not really life-changing or anything. It's a sequel. Oh, okay. Elizabeth is missing. The woman trying to solve the mystery suffers dementia and can't find her friend. Oh, dear. Accidentally listened to the sequel without realizing what's sick. I've done that before. I hate that. Because you keep thinking, oh, gosh, everyone seems to know things that I don't know. Did I miss something? And then you realize all the buildup was in the first book of the series. Because it makes you feel stupid that, like, you missed, or you didn't read some major plot point because everyone seems to know something you don't know about. But if it's a cozy mystery, you shouldn't have to read the first book. Those books should all be able to stand on their own. Okay, let's go back to black. Okay, I think this is where we are with the eyes. Okay. I feel like it needs more black. I was like, I don't want to use more black, but now that I'm looking at it. This brush I was just using. Here we are. Just gonna Okay, I think this is where we're going to end the eyes. As I keep working. I like cozy mysteries featuring cats, like the cat who walked through walls, or those cat mysteries. But all the cat books for your mom in the last 2 years. Oh, before her death. She finished the very last one about 2 weeks. Oh, wow. Wow, 32 books. Wow. Color range on the eyes looks cool. Thank you. Your face mask is tingling. Well, that means it's working, I hope. Beauty is pain. That's really not true, but okay. So let's reapply this brush I just brushed off. Okay, let's put on some highlighter that no one ever sees. Do you see it? I mean, I could see it in person, but so I'm really just doing this for the camera if you don't see it on the camera. Okay, now the bane of my existence, lips. I really did not like my lips last week. I should have just started over, but I was too lazy. So, has anyone read Mrs. Polifax? I think I'll mention before it was the first adult book I read as a kid. But I would classify Mrs. Polifax as a cozy. And I know I have a purple. Okay, let's. Oh, I don't know about these lips again. I really ought to see about making some lip stencils. Okay, I'm gonna try to fix this. think I may highlight. So I spent way too much time on these lips. Okay. Enough. Protestant, what are we talking about? Okay, I missed some conversation. The first adult books I read was Dumas, Dickens, and Verne. Definitely read, I don't know when I read Dumas. I definitely read Dickens and Verne youngish. Read Jane Played He the Sixth Wife Told, had me bailing my eyes out. Oh, Sherlock Holmes Not Being Real. Count of Monte Cristo. Talking about middle grade, I really love the Enola Holmes books. He told you Sherlock was your 2 times great grandfather. Oh dear. We read parts of Monte Cristo's in French class at school, but no teacher ever mentioned that the author was a person of color. Read all the Tudor ones. Oh, Dildo Gaggings, Tolkien, Lord of the Rings. Yeah, I read Tolkien pretty young. By pretty young, I mean, I think I was 14, which isn't that young. I've heard people. Okay, I need to do eyelashes. I know people have read them much earlier than that. But Mrs. Polifax, I read, I think it was like 8 or 9. But again, because it was on your parents' bookshelves. Like I probably would never have read the Rex Stout. I wonder if those are considered cozies. I don't think so. I don't know, maybe. They're Nero Wolfe, Rex Stout books when I was, just because they were on my parents' shelf. I read, this is mostly my father's taste. John D. MacDonald's, Travis McGee books, which I'm sure are terribly sexist now. Just because they were on the parents' shelf. Michener. I read Michener because that's what my parents would read. They also had a big book by E. Cummings, which I was fascinated, the poet. I don't know why they had that. No one was really great into poetry. It could have just been the thing of the times was to have an E. Cummings book. Okay. Unfortunately, no one was into science fiction or fantasy, which is except me. Or maybe that's a common thing, just having your taste or acquiring your taste being the opposite of whatever your parents are. Okay, I think this is the finished look. Didn't read Lord of the Rings till you were 22. My older brother liked the movie, so I always thought they were dull, manly Viking type stories. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, I love Lord of the Rings. Don't think you read Tolkien until you were in your late teens, early 20s. Well, I remember distinctly I was in 7th grade, but I remember my best friend Mike and I would, I'm sure a lot of kids did this, but wrote in Elvish or Dwarvish on our notebooks to each other. It's like having a little secret code. Oh my God, I was such a nerd. Read Bilbo, and I didn't realize it was the same world as Lord of the Rings for years. Oh, really? That's interesting, Em. I love the Tolkien movie. Really? I love the Tolkien movie. Are you talking about Lord of the Rings? Or the movie about Tolkien? Because I did not see that. The biography, I mean. Yeah, I did not read that one. I did not read that one. I did not see that one either. And the rest of the Inklings. You know what's funny is hearing there's audio tapes of Tolkien reading some of his poetries or some of his works. He has one of those voices that you only hear in old time English movies. I think it must be an accent that has died out. I think Noel Coward sort of had that same type of accent. Or maybe it's still around and just I never am exposed to it. Okay, so I grabbed this wig. Here she blows. Yeah, this wig has seen better days. It's not survived all the moves in the best of shape, but I think it still works. Just wish. Should we curl the bottoms? My phone is ringing. Now it's a telemarketer. Oh, I forgot to put on earrings. Should have done before the gloves, but okay, guys, I think this is the final look. Let me try to zoom out a little bit. I really enjoyed our discussion today. I really enjoyed talking to you. Hope to see you next week because there's going to be a wig reveal, I hope, if it comes in by then. I don't know what we're talking about here. Something about pizza and cheese. Thank you, Lynette. Love the wig. Thank you. Bouffant. Yeah, it is a bit of a bouffant, huh? Thank you, Britta. See you, Lynette. See you, Em. Have a great weekend, you too. And remember, may all the books you read be